to Live at 5. And today, there's something I want to talk about. I've waited to talk about this for quite some time, never really knew what the right things to say would be. It's a very hot topic. Divorce rates in Alberta right now have grown to some of the highest since the early 80s. We're sitting 2020 numbers are roughly right around 40%. The highest is just around 41% all time. And after 8 years, of co-parenting with split custody, I've learned a thing or two. What have I learned? As parents, it's our responsibility for the kids. They're not pawns. They never asked to go through that. So there's a lot of times where I'm talking to different parents and they're like, man, my ex is this, or they're doing this, or they're doing that. Well, you need to check yourself in the mirror sometimes. And what are you doing to either deflect on that situation or working towards a resolution on that? Me and my ex, we're still not friends, not by any stretch of the imagination. But can we have real life conversations? 100%. Do we support each other in times when we need to do different things for the kids? 100%. Have we always pretty much looked after the kids' best interests? Yes. From day one. So imagine this: 17 years I spent in the oil and gas industry. Uh, Within a few months, I went from consulting up in Fort McMurray, and basically I never had the kids overnight, ever, without her being around. My youngest it'd be September, so like 16 months or 17 months old. And we literally went 4 days on, 3 days off, just like that, right off the bat. We never communicated outside email or anything for the first year and a bit, outside of going through different things with lawyers. But the one thing that we can say is, as parents, we knew that we had to have both parents working together. Did we agree on different things all the time? Not at all. Do I believe everything that she does is right? Not at all. Like that, I'm not even afraid to admit that. Our divorce, when you talk about politics, okay, it's still clear to this day. She's got one opinion, and I have another opinion. But in the best interest of our children, we raise them so that they can develop their own opinion, because it's not about us. Our parenting skills, when we had kids, were meant to raise them the best of our ability. Both parents. Your opinion of what they did, why they cheated, why they left, when it comes to parenting, it's freaking irrelevant. Go look at the kids right now that have gone through domestic abuse, living in split custody homes, crime rates. A lot of those things come to quality time. How much time do the parents spend with those kids at that time? The numbers don't lie. They're all basically the same. When you're spending quality time with your kids, instilling good values on them and making them responsible, guess what? You have good results. I went through broken home. I lived in different places all through childhood. I sucked at school. I hated school. I hated my teachers. I hated doing notes. I really didn't like a lot of things. I tested boundaries. I still test boundaries. I don't like boundaries. Different levels now, obviously. But even though I don't agree with everything that my ex does, I still value her opinion as a parent and respect that. And when it comes to building up our kids for the next generation, we need to understand that we're doing things for them. If you're a parent, it's not their problem that you went and cheated or didn't cheat or, found different ways where you guys just aren't able to be together, that's not their problem. That's your problem. That's where you need to check yourself in the mirror and say, what am I willing to do for this next generation of kids? Am I going to just let other people, am I just going to let them run rampant? Let other people parent and everything? That's not right. Handing them off at daycares and everything, that's not right. Our kids don't ask for that. We're meant to be around our children. Thankfully in the 8 years, it's been very seldomly that we've had to change our schedule. There's been a couple different times for holidays or that sort of thing where it's been outside. But as a parent, you know what? I'm still missing half my kid's life. When I signed up for a parent, or not really signed up, but when I had kids, I said from day one that I would always be there. That is your responsibility. And not just till they're 18. Because once they turn 18, just because they're able to make their own decisions, doesn't mean your parenting stops. Are you kidding me? Like it's not they're not a job. They're not like an investment. Like go look in the mirror and give your head a shake a little bit and understand it's your responsibility to make sure that these kids have the best possible advantage in life to be the best that they can. Because that's what you chose to do when you took responsibility as a parent. With me and my ex, yeah, we've been in different relationships, not so much myself. It is what it is. And with the kids, it's about them. My three boys, they've done homeschooling for the last 2 weeks. I still can't believe, on another topic, that Jason Kenney is making kids go back to school for like 2.5 weeks of schooling. Like, freaking ridiculous, but that's a whole nother topic. But for the last 2 weeks, my kids get up, our kids get up, they go to school on their Zooms and everything. They're responsible for all of their homework. And I don't think outside of like a science day, that's been the only time that we've had to really check in on them. So my youngest is in grade 3, so don't make excuses for your kids that they don't understand what they're doing, because they can. They just need support and the trust from their parents that, hey, guess what? Things are going to be okay, because it's your responsibility as a parent to make sure that things are okay for your kids. When you signed up, when you started having kids, that's on you. That's not on them. I've talked to a lot of people in the last year that have gone through divorces, different split custody and things like that now as well. And it's a lot more common than what people think. And they keep things very hidden a lot of times. You don't even know a lot of times that these kids are in these situations. But I'm telling you 100%, the parents that aren't freaking selfish and use their kids as pawns back and forth, guess whose kids are doing good in school? Guess whose kids are still prospering? Guess whose kids are learning the best qualities out of their parents, even though those two people aren't together, weren't meant to be together, however you want to put that. Because my relationship with my ex has nothing to do with us raising our kids properly as parents, giving them the best life that they can. Right now, they get the best life. They get the best of both worlds, where they don't have to worry about us arguing, us fighting. I never talk bad about my ex. I don't post rude comments. I don't ever say anything about that. Do we like each other? Do we agree with each other? Clearly not, because we're not married anymore. But we still have respect for each other as parents. And that's what people need to get to. Because at one time, you were with that person, you had kids, and at one time they were still something important in your life. And that's something that shouldn't be forgotten. Because no matter what, at the end of the freaking day, so I try to keep my stuff PG, at the end of the day, you really only have family. I've spent most of my time with my kids. I sacrificed all my positions in the oil field, did whatever I had to do to make sure to change my life so that I could be around my kids week on, week off, and make sure that I'm there for them. Because kids need their parents. Under 18, what else do they have? Like, are you kidding? Stop being selfish. If you don't like that person, good. Get over yourself. Go look in the mirror. Go hold your kids in the mirror and go put them and say, guess what? I'm not doing this for you, and sacrifice for them. Because when you had kids, that is your freaking responsibility, period. So I'm well over my 6 minutes that I try to keep my videos at. This will be posted on YouTube. I'm gonna do a mini series because I've got more things to talk about. And I run all my videos unscripted. I go live at different times, partly because I like to talk about different things that are coming to me at that time. So when I want to talk about something, I'll go live and talk about it. I'm not a movie star that sits there and has people dictate to me what I should be telling you about certain things. I talk about real life experiences. So hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Let's go.